Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Bernardo Silva as the Manchester City maestro and his agent are pushing for Barcelona move, but the operation is currently difficult. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Oriol Romeu, as Barcelona have reportedly closed the signing finally. An announcement could be made on Monday. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. According to journalist Fernando Polo, the operation to acquire Bernardo Silva from Manchester City is extremely difficult, but the Barcelona management is equally serious about it. Polo adds that both the player and his agent, Jorge Mendes, want to push for a move, and Barcelona happen to be on the same page as the Portuguese ace has always been Xavi's favorites. For that, we have already reported that Mendes and Joan Laporta met to have a word on the issue, but the execution is more challenging than it seems. As far as the player is concerned, he is more than willing to make an effort to move to Barcelona, but wants the Catalans to start the conversation. It has been almost 3 years since Barcelona first thought of Bernardo Silva, but it is now the time for them to execute the operation regardless of the obvious hurdles. Now, it is not that Silva has only received appreciation from Barcelona. In fact, Ligue 1 champions Paris Saint-Germain are said to have approached the player, and teams from Saudi Arabia too have made advancements, but as it turns out, the Portuguese is only dreaming of Barcelona. There are a few problems that might pop up if Barcelona approach the player first. They need to make some space within the roster, and if Frank Kessié's reported move to Juventus gets the green light, then only Barca can think of the move. Secondly, if Man City are to lose Bernardo Silva this summer, they would want to sign a replacement, and for that, they have proposed an audacious swap deal involving the Portuguese and Barca midfielder Frankie de Jong. If not, the citizens will demand a fee in the region of 80 million euros, and it remains to be seen how Barcelona can strike a deal, although there is a contingency in place involving a loan deal with a mandatory purchase option to adapt to this year's financial fair play. Bernardo Silva strongly linked again with Barca, something that I personally was not seeing it coming, as Barca continued to cry their financial struggle. Of course, complying with the financial fair play hasn't been easy because the signings, in fact, the transfer window hasn't been easy at all. Barcelona trying to strengthen the positions, especially in midfield, have not been an easy task, but I think so far so good in that department. Of course, Barca did sign Ilkay Gundogan last month. What a great signing that was, considering like the quality he has. I think he's going to help us. And of course, the DM role that have been Xavi's priority to replace Sergio Busquets is reportedly being closed, like Oriol Romeu, who is also closing in as reports are saying. But more to that, Xavi wants another sparkling, attacking number 10 in his midfield ranks. And of course, in fact, Bernardo Silva still strongly linked. Xavi is a huge fan of Bernardo Silva. It is no strange thing because we have been hearing that even last summer that Xavi has been behind the brains pushing for the move, but it's just unfortunate that Barcelona's finances haven't given permission for Barca to strike a deal. But that hasn't still stopped Barca from still reigniting their interest this summer for the player, who is crazy about joining Barca. He really wants to join, and he really wants Barca to make an effort, because so far, according to Bernardo, he believes that he himself have made an effort. But Barca needs to also up their efforts. But what can Barca do? Our hands are tied. So it remains very, very complicated, to be honest. Josh Mendes have had several meetings recently with the Barca management in order to discuss the transfers, and it is quite believed that Bernardo Silva's name have featured in those conversations as well. So it remains to be seen if actually Barca can find space somehow somewhere in order to make this deal happen, because I believe that Bernardo Silva joining Barca will be such a great team for us, especially in the midfield with Ilkay Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, who are two of the best midfielders in Europe. Joining Barca will be something great. So let's see how it goes. Then moving on to the final story of discussion. After a long drawn pursuit of a pivot midfielder, Barcelona can now close the book on it, as Neil Solar via Gigantes is reporting that the signing of Oriol Romeu from Girona has been closed. In fact, an official announcement about the same could be made as early as Monday. Barca have been on the lookout for a defensive midfielder all through the summer after Sergio Busquets confirmed his departure. Targets like Marcelo Brozovic, Joshua Kimmich, Martin Zubimendi were considered and discarded for one reason or the other. Finally, Barca settled on Oriol Romeu as their preferred option, as the 31-year-old fit into the club's current economic reality and knows the Barca philosophy well, having come through the ranks of La Masia and made a couple of senior appearances for the team as well. Negotiations with Granada have been going on for a while now, and a breakthrough was finally achieved last night, with reports claiming that Barca could be signing Romeo for 5 million plus variables, while also sending Pablo Torre on loan to Girona. Now, building on that, Neil Sola is reporting that the deal is completely sealed and could be made official this coming Monday. It comes as a huge boost for Xavi, who has been intent on signing a pivot midfielder before the team flew off to the United States of America for their pre-season tour. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.